source of all right action and an ability that is sorely lacking in today's society. Creating a sense of peace and well-being starts with the power of the mind. We must become the masters of our own minds in order that we can create the lives we want. This starts with formulating a sense of composure. When you are composed, you have a sense of indifference to outside events. We have to stop reacting to life and learn to respond to life. There's a difference. Many people in modern society don't have enough self-awareness to have a mind of their own. If a person can upset you, then they have power over you. Calmness can help a person make the best decisions at any moment. It is the best attribute of any leader of any kind. In this video, I will share some tips to help you develop a sense of calmness in your life. First, you have to understand the power of your thoughts. The words and images that you focus on will shape your mindset and how you perceive the world. How you perceive the world is how you receive the world. In other words, it is a universal law that whatever attitude you have towards other people and events is what you will get back in return. Make an effort to focus on positive thoughts and avoid worrying about pessimistic thoughts. Our thoughts shape our actions, and our actions formulate habits. From there, our habits create the life of which we choose. This is an easy one. The reason why people get upset at the events in life is because they have not learned about their own thought patterns. Creation is thought. Everything is a thought form first. The person that thinks themselves to be angry is angry. The person that thinks themselves to be calm is correct. The person that thinks themselves old is correct, and the person that thinks themselves to be young is correct. When other people slander our name or our character, and we react instead of respond, our reaction gives power to the suggestion. Say that someone told you that you were ugly. The anxious person will react in an emotional manner, acknowledging the fact that the suggestion of them being ugly is in fact true. On the contrary, a person that has mastered their calm state of mind can respond in laughter, composure, or in just plain silence. Many times, we struggle to remain calm because of life's many responsibilities. Work, family, our social life. It can give us a constant sense of anxiety that we might not make ends meet, or our spouse may leave us, or that we might lose our source of income. This is another reason why many people cannot calm their mind. In order to have a completely calm state of mind, we have to discipline ourselves in constant mental exercises. Take a few minutes to meditate, stretch, or get some fresh air. Just 10 minutes a day doing some of these exercises can improve a person's mental acuity, calmness, and overall well-being. Do it for yourself. The most important thing in this world is our bodily health. I mean, it wouldn't be much of a life if we didn't have a healthy body. Cold showers are another way to improve your calmness and composure. When you take cold showers, your body is in a sudden state of shock, and as you stay in the water, your mind learns to relax in relatively intense situations. You learn to keep your composure. It also improves your immune system, and a healthy body is a healthy mind. If you want to take full control over your life, maintaining a sense of composure is the way to do it. Mindset. Poverty is not a lack of resources, it is a lack of proper mindset. Amy Alston. This is how the rich get richer and the poor stay poor. We need a sense of serenity in our lives to have a mindset of clarity and wealth. You must learn to become indifferent to life's circumstances, for it is not the circumstances that make the man. They only reveal him to himself. Epictetus. A great way to develop a sense of calmness is to stop worrying. Say, for example, you have a surgical operation coming up at the end of the month. It's natural for our families and our friends to carry a sense of concern for our health. It's only when the concern for our health becomes irrational and the negative thoughts begin festering within the mind, lingering, and then it turns into worry. Since worrying takes away your focus, your appetite, and your sleep, it is not good for you. But it seems like you can't stop worrying. And since you can't stop worrying, you worry that you're worrying too much. And then because you're upset at yourself because you do it, you only worry even more. This creates an endless cycle of mental paralysis that's more destructive than constructive. Envision yourself as a solution-oriented person and carry this mindset with you in all walks of life. This will subconsciously tell your mind that it is best to be rational in situations that require rationality. When problems arise, know that they are only mental suggestions. This practice will keep a person in a constant state of poise that gives them the ability to make the best decisions possible in any given situation. You have to get to the point that level-headedness is second nature to you, a natural trait. Try not to think about the situation too much. Worry is a choice. Calmness is also a choice. But we have to develop healthy habits in order to ensure that when the situation arises, it will no longer be a forced mind of calmness, but an automatic response. This is the only way to know if you have mastered it. Healthy habits can be eating healthy foods, exercising regularly, and getting enough sleep. You must remember that health is wealth. When faced with a problem or situation, learn to take a step back. In order to make the most logical decision, you have to have a bird's eye view of the situation. Take a step back and focus on your breathing. This will give you time to think more clearly and find a solution. Then, once you have identified the source of the stress, acknowledge the source of stress and try to understand why the situation is happening. Once you have identified the source, you can take appropriate steps to address it. Now listen closely. If the situation is out of your control, then try to identify what you can do in the short term to make it easier. Focus on the steps you can take and actions you can take to address the situation. In modern society, there is an enormous amount of people who devote their lives to keeping their minds excessively busy. We as a society have allowed the advancement of technology and instant gratification to force us to take a backseat in our own minds. People are too uncomfortable with silence. When you are alone, take a moment to pay attention to your thoughts. What is your mental state? Do you have control over your mind, or does your mind constantly think of ways you're going to fail at life? That moment that you control your thoughts is the moment you become the main character of your life and start living the best life you can live. Create the best person you know that you can be. Meditation is an ancient tool that is used for us to take control of our minds. When we have to deal with the stress of daily events, it can sometimes be too stressful, leading us to react to life in an emotional nature. Trying to calm a worried mind is like placing an iron on crashing waves. You have to allow your mind to quiet itself. In order to do so, you must become comfortable with silence. Paying attention to your thought patterns when alone can give you an idea of what your mental state is right now. If you can't seem to sit in one place for a long enough time, then try this. Envision a body of water. If you see upset and crashing waves, you have a very chaotic frame of mind. If it is a calm body of water, you are more of a calm-minded person. This is a perfect way to know right now if you are in a calm state of mind. We often confuse the world's problems with our own. For example, when the death of a celebrity is trending on the news or social media, people tend to take on the negative energy surrounding that person's death, leaving them worried or sad, and now their mood is ruined for the rest of their day. At the same time, a person who decides not to watch the news or social media would never have known that that person died and can continue with a day that they created. Sometimes we have to put the world on hold and enter our lives. Find ways to relax. Find activities that you enjoy and that help you relax. This could be listening to music, doing yoga, or any other activities you enjoy. Relaxing does not always have to include something or someone else. Spending time alone in your own presence can be just as relaxing. Finding ways to relax by yourself can help keep you grounded and control overstimulation, improving your mental health. You will feel better about yourself, have a clear understanding of what's happening in your life, and enough motivation to reach your goals. When we get too caught up in the cost of living, jobs, school, family, we forget that we are allowed to put that on hold to take care of ourselves. When finding ways to relax, practice putting the world on hold to maintain a peace of mind. Turn off your phone while you take a bath or while working out, or turn on some music, whatever helps you best. The intention behind it is to recharge and find balance. And lastly, you must learn to be present. Practice mindfulness and focus on the present moment. Don't worry about things that have already happened or that may happen in the future. Treat the past as a lesson, the future as a book not yet written, and the present as a constant gift that you accept with every breath. By following these steps, you can create a sense of peace and well-being in your life and set a positive example for those around you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more content only on the Crumb Link.